There are 8 science-backed personality traits that govern your clothing style and the way you dress. So today we're going to be breaking them down to see which one do you relate to and how you can maintain your class and elegance as well as your personality and emotionality when it comes to dressing yourself. You're not gonna wanna miss this, so let's get into it. Now there are 8 different attitudes or even emotions that exist that really sway a person into buying a certain piece of clothing or even dressing the way they do. We will discuss your feelings, your emotions, and your attitudes when you are purchasing these clothing, why they are okay, and why you should in fact embrace your dressing style, and of course, maintaining that class and elegance so you can be the best version of yourself, which is exactly what this channel is about. It's about money, women, and power. And my name is Karina, here to hopefully add that to your life. So number 8 is sexuality. Now this trend you see a lot, and that is a lot of body revealing clothes. This is also very prevalent on social media, and for the most part it does get taken much over the top, and for that I am very against, because again it is going to the very extreme side where you are completely losing your class and elegance. But it is still possible to be very sexual and dress in a way while maintaining your class. You just have to do it very tastefully. People attribute class and elegance with being a nun, and I don't believe in that. There are very many classy and elegant women that are also extremely sexy. Some that come to mind is Adriana Lima, Monica Bellucci, Alessandra Ambrosio. There are many women that do dress in body revealing clothes, however they still appear classy and elegant. When they're posing for pictures, they don't look like your kind of desperate attention-seeking Instagram models. They look more so as a fashion model. So if that is your style, really think of which direction are you leaning towards. Are you leaning towards the desperate Instagram model version, or are you leaning towards the high fashion, sexy, perhaps actress vibes or Marilyn Monroe vibes, right? Marilyn Monroe is extremely classy, extremely elegant, and she is hot. Have you seen what she's wearing? She was just like the icon back in the day. So that is just proof that you can be sexy and elegant at the same time. So don't be scared or shy to show off any of your kind of assets that you have, because honestly, especially if you are in your younger days, you have limited times to show that off. Number 7 is happiness. That is somebody who is very fun-loving and dresses in high colors, fun colors, high fashion, things like that, right? And again, you can express your personality without sticking to, let's say, boring tones of colors. Elegance has no weight on color. As long as you are dressing for things that flatter you, as opposed to looking like you're a walking kind of colored rainbow or popsicle, you know, confetti, I don't know. Obviously, you don't want to look like a clown, but you can express yourself in fun ways while still maintaining your elegance. Next one is sadness. These are typically body concealing clothes, and perhaps the colors could be a little bit not so bright. Now, although the word sad has kind of a negative connotation to it, sometimes that's people's way of dressing and they might not necessarily be feeling that emotion. But if you just like kind of the lower hues of color and just dressing more conservatively, then that's completely fine, as long as again you do it with taste and style, right? Don't just be going around wearing baggy sweatshirts and baggy pants. There is a way to kind of have this personality while still looking classy. Number 5 is youthfulness, and this usually is accompanied by wearing the very common and trendy fashion styles, right? A lot of them, I mean, when I was in high school, actually even college, a lot of people would wear Forever 21 or very kind of those, whatever is in style, right? T-shirts with slogans on them, whatever else. Now, when it comes to fast fashion, I'm actually quite against it, because it's not good for the environment, it's not good for the factory workers, so I don't like supporting these fast fashion brands. However, I don't suggest that at all. But if you are actually young, because I know this channel has a variety of audience, and I don't want you to be very young and kind of thinking about purchasing super designer brands or expensive clothes, because there's honestly no need to that. You can still be fun and fun-loving and dressing in a youthful manner and still looking cute and classy. But note that if you are on the younger side and you're looking for elegance advice, that's amazing. It's really great that you are already thinking about your future that early on and seeking for that advice. I think that's tremendous, but I don't want you to lose your fun-lovingness and your youthful appearance. I think that's a big mistake, is when young girls try to act mature, because honestly, there's no need for that. Your time will come and you will wish sometimes that you could bring it back. So enjoy your youth. If you are in the younger category, please don't try to be mature. Don't try to wear body revealing or body provoking clothing. I think especially ladies these days that are very youthful are maturing too fast because of societal standards and what's expected, not expected, but what's kind of portrayed, especially on social media. And I'm very, very against that. When I was in my younger years, the ridiculous clothing that we wore, it's fun to look back at, but we didn't think about kind of there wasn't as many people not satisfied with their body or trying to have bigger breasts or slimmer thighs. I think that's just a ridiculous thing to be thinking about as a young girl, and it's very sad the way the society is heading, but I digress. Next is sophistication. This is number 4, sophistication. This usually comes with a minimalistic approach, someone who is very kind of simple in their way, but still very stylish. I mean, what comes to your mind when you think of sophistication? I think of somebody wearing kind of your typical colors, your typical clothing, but still looking very presentable and posh, like they belong in a magazine. I do like this personality and this attitude. I actually like a mixture of these all, believe it or not, but I think to look sophisticated is very great. I think less is more is a great philosophy. You don't want to take it over the top ever, because then it starts to give off the wrong vibes, and again, you just look like you have low self-esteem when you take things over the top. Number 3 is superiority. Now this is somebody that is really driven by these luxury brands, really standing out, really wearing expensive clothing and jewelry pieces. They're driven by things that are high fashion and expensive. Now I am a girl that loves her good quality pieces, not necessarily for the brand, but for the kind of mentality behind it. I do like that they are able to last longer and they're more environmentally conscious, and they don't support kind of slave or child labor. I do, of course, very much so like that. But on the other hand, I do think some brands take it over the top and they are very unreasonably expensive for quality that is lower than what you would expect, and it's all about the name and the fashion. And I don't agree with people trying to show off their kind of luxury goods or flaunting or flashing things. I think that actually looks very, very cheap and it doesn't make you look classy. So if you do enjoy your luxury goods, make sure to not be that type of person that is just kind of showing everything that's out there, because again, that looks very tasteless. It almost looks like these are the only designer outfits I have, so I'm going to make sure that everybody knows I have them. It's very cheap, it's very cheesy, and people who are actually wealthy and kind of do have expensive items, you don't see them flaunting these things. They just wear them, and oftentimes you can't even tell the brand. Number 2 is actually very, very insightful, and I love the fact that this is, by the way, is taken from a psychological perspective. I did not make this up. This is on curriculum for fashion designers, fashion consultants, image consultants, and these are actually personality traits that are well studied by science, and you can find them in actual textbooks. And I found number 2 to be very insightful, because that is inferiority. Now, when you think of inferiority, typically a person would think of somebody that has low self-esteem and kind of, you know, slumped over with their head hanging low, maybe doesn't want to go out in public, doesn't want to dress up. But in fact, what is stated under inferiority is somebody who is too perfect, somebody who is seductive, somebody who is inappropriate. Now again, I'm not making this up, and this is all psychological, because I have had this viewpoint for quite some time, and I'm actually happy to see it in a textbook, because now I know my reasoning and everyone else's reasoning that is subconscious is governed by science. So when you are trying too hard, trying so hard to be perfect, I actually think a lot of celebrities and kind of Instagram models and bloggers have this complex because they feel the need and the pressure to be so perfect that they have to have their makeup and hair professionally done, their outfits looking on point, long nails, everything perfect all the time. And that's too much. Nobody is perfect. We're human beings. And as a lady, I know how long it takes to put yourself together, and it is unrealistic to look perfect at all times. So when you are prioritizing your appearance over everything else to that degree, what that shows is desperation, right? And typically you not only see this with people's outfit choices, but you see this with their action. And that's when seductiveness and inappropriateness comes into play. That is actually probably the one trait that you do not want to have out of all of these. It's very classless, it's very tasteless, and you can dress up in the most expensive, revealing clothing, but all that's going to show is complete insecurities. And number one is self-confidence. And of course, that's great. And that's really dressing for the right occasion. That's, I feel, is knowing who you are, knowing that you can look perfect if you want to, and also feeling okay with just lounging around your house, right? That is wearing the right attire, being at the right place at the right time, not looking like a sore thumb that doesn't belong, but really holding your class and elegance and knowing you belong there and knowing you can hold your own in any situation. Now, your responsibility is to understand that this in fact exists and to see which traits you fall under and how you can use those to maintain your personality as well as maintaining your class and elegance. Let me know what you thought about this in your comments down below. Like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.